guys, it's Mary Lou from What's Lou Cooking, and today we are going to be making Mexican meatballs, which we call albondigas. Anyway, so here we go over the ingredients. They're really simple, they're really easy. Let's get this going. Vámonos. Alright, so in this blender I have a couple of tomatoes. I also have a can of tomato sauce, half a container of chipotle peppers in the adobo sauce. I have the rest of my garlic, which was about 2 cloves of garlic, and I have this seasoning packet, which is the Goya Sazon. And then for the broth, eventually you're going to use some cilantro. For the meatballs, I have cooked white rice. I've cooked half a cup of white rice in a cup and a half of water until it's biteable. It's got a little bite to it, but it's not fully cooked. I have 2 pounds of turkey meat, some onion, some cilantro, salt, and pepper. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna mix this up and make my little meatballs. So just basically we're gonna get this together. And we don't over season the meatballs because the broth is what's going to give these meatballs seasoning. And you're probably wondering, like, why does she have boiling water? Because most meatballs, what people do is they fry them or bake them. And the Mexican Albondigas, or not Mexican, but Mexican meatballs, which are called Albondigas, what we do is you get the boiling water, and once you formed your meatballs, you put them in, drop them in slowly, and they will cook. If that makes any sense. But you'll get to see the process. By the way, if you hear little baby coos and little talking, it's because Ronan's over there by Daddy, and so he doesn't want to nap today. He's refused to nap all day, so we've been having lots of fun. Alright, so we got the meatballs, and these are eggless. They don't have, you know, anything else but this. It's really simple ingredients. Just gotta talk away, how I always do. Alright, you can make the meatballs whatever size you like. I'm going to make them fairly small so that they cook fast. So I'm gonna make them about that size. And then just rub your palms together like so. And they're not gonna be perfect. They're not gonna be perfectly round, but they're gonna be a nice little meatball. And you know, normally with these meatballs or albondigas, you can in the broth, once you've got the meatballs down, you can also add cut up potatoes, carrots, celery, cabbage, and make it a little bit heartier. But since we don't have that today and we're just making the meatballs, we're just going to make the broth, and it's going to be delicious because it already has rice in it, so it's going to be pretty filling with the rice. So my little sister is going to fast forward through this until I have all the meatballs together. So you can sit there and watch how we do this. Alright, so my meatballs are all formed. My water is boiling. I added a little bit of salt to the water so that it's just a little bit, not too much, so that it's seasoned. The other thing is we use turkey meat, but most Mexican meatballs you use half a pound or a pound of beef and a pound of pork and mix it together, and it tastes delicious. But we like turkey and we're on a diet. Not really, but we're trying to eat healthy. So here we go. We're going to drop these guys in. So as you said, they're already formed, as you can tell. So come on over. It's going to be a little bit, what is it called? Vapor? You know, it's going to be a little bit of vaporization, steam going. So we're going to drop these guys in. So as you drop them in, they cook. I don't know if you can see. Maybe zoom in a little bit.
The word you're looking for.
Alright, so the meatballs are in, and now what we're going to do is we're going to bring it to a rapid boil. I called it a high boil, and my husband told me I should say rapid boil, which is probably right, but you know. Anyway, rapid boil. And then once the rapid boil starts, I'm going to turn it down a little bit and add our blended stuff that we've got here, and then also add the cilantro and let it cook. So I'll show you more in just a little bit. The meatballs are in a rapid boil. So now what I'm going to do, see this top thing? I'm going to skim it right off. And I forgot to tell you, I did add a scoop of bouillon or a couple of cubes of bouillon, and I just chose chicken. But you got to get this stuff out of there. So I'm just going to skim it and put it in this plate, because you're just going to put it down the drain. What my mom has always done, and her broth turns out nice and clear. Well, not, you know, clear without any of the foam stuff. It's going to be red. And you don't have to make a red broth. You can literally just leave this broth the way that it is and just put your vegetables in there with your cilantro, which I'm gonna dump in now. But you don't have to make a red broth. We just make it because I like the chipotle pepper in it. It gives it a little bit of spice. Alright, mix this in. And you can always taste it for salt to make sure that it's perfect, that it doesn't need any more salt. Alright, so now what we're going to do is I'm going to cover this and I am going to let it cook in a medium speed for about 15 to 20 minutes until the meatballs are completely done. And then when we're done, I'm going to do a lot of this, which is what my husband says I'm doing right now. And then we're going to have some of this and you're going to love it. I promise you will, because who doesn't love Mexican meatballs? So my albondigas were cooking for about 15 minutes, and basically you can just tell if you are kind of worried. Just put the thermometer into the meatball. If it reaches 165 degrees, then it's done. So 165 or higher. So I'm just gonna grab a couple of meatballs here. Here we go. And like I said, look at that beautiful broth. You see that? This broth is nice and red, clear. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut this baby up. And look at it. Do you see this? The little pieces of rice, and then you've got your cilantro and your onion. So what we do in true Mexican fashion, we take a little bit of salt and put it in a tortilla, which I've cooked. You know, just sprinkle it a little bit. Roll your tortilla up. I'm just going to do it this way, but some people do it in the palm of their hand, you know, boom, which I can do, but I'm not going to show off. I'm not going to show off today with this hand thing. I will show off, though. All right, here we go. I know I'm going to burn my mouth. Prepare for burning. Here we go. Perfect. Literally, if you want it hotter, add some chipotle peppers. If you don't want it as hot, take half the amount of the chipotle peppers. If you don't need this many meatballs as we do, just use 1 pound of meat, half the onion, you know, just whatever you want to do with this recipe, do with it. Just use it as a base of what you're gonna eat. And I hope you guys enjoy this recipe. We love it here at my house. Kenny, the kids. So, enjoy, friends. We'll talk to you soon.